everyone. I guess I do have one more spread I want to do. I had a conference on Coronado Island in San Diego in California in December of 2019, and I stayed at the Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort, and these are some pictures from that location. And then also took a little trip to go see the Coronado Del Hotel, and these pictures are from that location. I'm going to do something kind of interesting here. I have this paper, background paper, that has this cool design, and there's a lot of blue, and it's Christmas time, but it's in sunny California, so I didn't want to use traditional colors, so I'm using this blue Christmas paper, and I'm going to put these photographs around the centerpiece so that it shows. Now, this may be hard to see on the video, but there is a silver design here in the middle. It does mean, though, you can see my pictures aren't lining up as a square, but there's this other pattern that makes it look interesting. So that'll be kind of easy to put together. On this other page, I just want to show you a couple things. For part of the conference, I had to zoom back into a meeting on my campus, and while I was doing that, this seagull was in the background of my Zoom, and people thought I was joking about being in California, but I took a picture of the seagull. He's going to end up in the middle of this particular page. I do want to show you a technique I use in a certain situation. Sometimes you get your background papers out of books of designed paper, and you can see this one has a seam here that you kind of have to tear off. You know, I pull it out and it usually comes off where the glue is, and so you then have to tear this part off. Well, you can see that there's all these little white bumps. Well, you may not be able to on the video, but there's a whole bunch of little white bumps here now from where I tore. And I'll show you what I do. I'm going to stick my finger in my mouth, get a little bit of wetness on it, and I just rub that across the top, and that will move all of those down so you don't really see them. Sometimes if the page is a little big, you can cut that off, but other times you cut it off and then it's too small to fit in the plastic page protector nicely. So there we go. I've just smoothed it out by putting a little water on it. So my mom's working in the background giggling at me. Alright, so let's put this together. Old photograph that I use to keep from getting fingerprints on the photographs, as I'm making sure they're stuck down nicely. And I always start right in the corner. 12 by 12 paper is normally pretty square, and I want to have a very thin border because I want to see as much of this beautiful background paper as possible. So we'll start with that one. And I'm going to match the border around the edge on this set of photographs. So a very thin border here, so I'm just going to make sure that that is like that there. On this picture of the seagull, I cut that down. I have this Fiskars tool. It's nice for cutting smaller things, but particularly photographs, because it's 6 inches wide or long. They can fit in there really well. So I use that to cut those edges. I feel like the straight edge works better on cutting photographs if you do need to do that. I am going to do this little guy last, so let me get him out of the way. Right now what I'm doing is basically creating a nice border for these photographs. Because the background paper is so busy, it would be hard for them to stand out against that. So putting them on a solid border helps these photographs to stand out a little bit better. Also see the pattern here. This is a massive gingerbread house, by the way, that was at the Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort. It matches the patterns in the background paper a little bit, which is another reason I chose those. So we'll get our little seagull friend right there in the middle. And now I'm going to cut this down. I use the Fisker's circle cutting tool, and I'm going to just make sure I can get a 12-inch slice here, so I can use that later in another project for a border or something. Also keep that. So there we go. And just going to get that right in the middle there. I love the way that that looks. Thin border makes the photograph stand out, but you can still see a lot of that background paper. Yep, that's going to look like they're going to tear the paper, and if that's the case, I just leave them on. That we have a package that's being delivered or something. So I will go check that out here in a little bit. We'll see if the doorbell rings. Okay, that's all pressed down. Let's just make sure we like the way that that looks together. Yep, I do think I like that. And so now I'm going to place these where I want them so that they fit around this design. There we go. Oh, we must have some mail. So hopefully my dad is paying attention to that and getting the package. I don't know what we're getting because it's not Christmas time. There we go. First one placed. Should make the other ones easier to get down now. Well, whoever was at the garage and dropped something off the front door is now back at the garage. It's funny. Okay. And just making sure these are all lining up. Looks good. Again, I wish that this pattern in the middle would show up a little better. I guess you can see it. It looks really good live. I don't know if the cameras are picking it up because it's a little shiny or not. The other thing I wanted to say was about photograph placement. You can see that I've put the pictures with the sky up here at the top. Things that are farther away at the top. If you switch those around, it kind of looks strange because it's like you're seeing far away, you're seeing sky, and then there's something on top of the sky. So where I have pictures with a lot of sky, I always try and get those up at the top because it helps them to look better. So there we go, and my dad's yelling at me saying we have a package. So I'll go and see what that is. But thank you, have a great day, and keep on scrapping.